Hello, everyone. Welcome back. You're listening to a brand new episode of The Millennial Athlete with Tanvi and Shlok, a podcast of, for, and by the millennials. I'm your host, Shlok Ramchandran.
And I'm your co-host Tanvi Lad. What's up, Shlok? How are the days going? Lockdown.
Yeah, it's tough, right? As we spoke in our earlier episode too, we've gone back in time. I feel like we're in a time vault, and we are going back in time. But yes, and we've had some big news this week, right? IPL, out of all things, there was this debate, right, Tanvi, that everybody was saying that should IPL be going on or not. But finally, when during the KKR match, you had Varun Chakravarti, who tested positive with another player, Sandeep Warrior, and then that match got postponed, and then you had Lakshmipati Balaji, who was in the CSK dugout, who got who tested positive. And I thought the IPL bio bubble was the most secure place in India, but I guess not.
Absolutely. I mean, I think the IPL was literally going against, you know, everything that was happening in the country. We are on the brink of a national emergency, and to have this one sporting event actually being conducted as if nothing else, nothing else really mattered was probably going against all forms of public health, if I may put it that way. So yeah, I mean that was kind of like the final straw, having the IPL suspended temporarily. And just a couple of days ago, we got news that Victor Axelsen has tested positive at the European Championships on the eve of his finals against Anders Antonsen. So, had to um, be flown back to Denmark in a private ambulance. Um, yes, he did go on record to say that he considers himself fortunate to be able to afford to do the same, because there are millions of people out there who are probably struggling with resources, struggling to have find a hospital bed or even oxygen cylinders. But he was lucky enough to have a private ambulance arranged for himself, and was flown back from Ukraine to Copenhagen.
Yes, and quite a journey he had. So he was in this air wrapped thing where nobody could enter, and he could only come out of that airbag once he reached his residence in Denmark. His wife and kid were shifted, but he's lost his taste of smell and taste. That's what he says in his Facebook. But he's already told that he's working out a bit, considering the Olympics is not very far away. But similar situation with the men doubles players. Mark Lampus and Marvin Sidel were scheduled to play their finals. Mark Lampus tested positive, which gave Ivanov Soznov the victory at the European Championships. But for them, they couldn't afford it, so they were at Kiev and shifted to a private hotel where they are quarantined now. So yeah, we just from the millennial athlete, we hope Mark and Victor make a speedy recovery back.
Absolutely. I think as far as the Indian contingent is concerned, we've had, I think Saina and Shrikant, who were looking forward to playing Malaysia and Singapore as the final two qualification events, before the Olympics, hoping to make the cut. And with flights now being suspended, with Indians being unable to travel and even transit many of the countries, it's not a very heartening situation. We had a bunch of the junior Indian athletes who were looking to compete on the European circuit, and they've all had to pull out, either because of visa issues or just by virtue of no flights being available. So here we are, sport has resumed, tournaments are being conducted, but we Indians are unable to reach the tournament venue. And by the looks of it, I don't really see um, you know us competing for the next 3 to 4 months, because India has been put on the radar by most countries. The only option left for a lot of us was to probably fly to the US, quarantine for 10 days, and then fly into Europe. But as of a couple of days ago, that option has also been sealed. So, yeah, time to probably be at home, do other things, unwind a bit, because doesn't look like we're going to get to compete for a while now.
I mean, you were one of the athletes who were going to play at the Barcelona Spain Masters, and you was also scheduled to play the Portuguese International Series. And I mean, I know you were looking forward to playing that after months and months and almost a year of just training. Uh, how what was your initial reaction? Because I know the initial reaction is, damn, matlab you play, you trained so much, and it is just so disheartening, right? But how have you coped with it at a very personal level?
Well, to be very frank and honest, I think I was living the last 12 months with a lot of hope. The situation will get better. Let's use this time to get fitter. Let's use this time to, watch some of the videos of us of myself playing, and iron out some of the technical shortcomings, or limitations that I consider are a part of my game. And so it was, living month to month, session to session, by with a lot of hope. But I think somewhere down the line, that has taken a bit of a hit. Motivation levels haven't been at their best, which is why I decided to even take a break from my training academy, come down to Mumbai, spend some time with family. And I even came and trained with you for a bit, because I just needed to be, with family, with friends, in a nicer, happier sort of environment. Having said that, the circuit seemed to be picking up, and I was looking forward to competing in May and June after almost 15 months, and did get back to the academy in Bangalore. Put in a lot of effort. I would say the last 6 weeks have been brutal physically, and I was really looking forward to competing again. But as luck would have it, a couple of days before I was scheduled to travel to Portugal, flights were banned. I literally tried every trick in the book, contacted every airline, every embassy, but they were very, very firm in their decision to not allow any Indians to even transit a Schengen country. So, with a heavy heart, I had to withdraw from the tournaments that I had entered, and here I am in Bangalore, with in lockdown, sitting in a containment zone with 50,000 cases that have, I just got news that we have recorded a high of 50,000 cases today. So, not a very mentally great situation to be in. It is definitely challenging, but I think it's important that at a time like this, we take care of our mental health. So I am making an effort every day to to challenge some of the negative. It's very, very easy to spiral down this negative chain of thinking. So every time I find myself, going down that route, I literally, stop myself and, make sure that I replace it with a positive memory, or a positive thought, or a positive uh memory of whether it's a good match that I've played in the past, or a positive memory, or a song that you like, or you cook something that it has to be a concerted effort. And that's something I wanted to put out there to all those who are struggling. We know, as millennials, that it's not a very bright situation, but I think in comparison to the way the world is suffering, we're far better off. So let's make that effort.
Yeah, I mean, I went through the whole COVID stage, so it is so tough on the body. I remember after the 17, 18 days of isolation, I just came back to have a jog, and I'm somebody who could run 5 kilometers at a very decent pace on a regular day. I remember that day within 1.5 kilometers, I felt dead. My legs were shivering, my heart was beating at 1000 beats per minute, and I lost a lot of you know muscle mass also. So even so, if so, guys, take care, please, and do not like venture out, because you don't want to get this. It is not a very pretty sight, and even the most mild cases affect your body so much, especially your lung capacity. And as athletes, your lung capacity is right on the top. But coming from a perspective of a coach now, as we spoke in one of our earlier episodes, how this disrupts the whole sporting ecosystem, right? From athletes, now it goes to coaches because it's their livelihood. No coaching activities now apart from the national center, which is
Yeah.
working only for Tokyo bound athletes.
Yeah.
uh, Again, 3 months of activity, now back to being at home, training sessions from the home. It is so tough for the coaches also. uh, but I really hope Mumbai is having a better situation right now, that the cases are slowly on the decline in Mumbai. But I hope it has the same impact for the rest of the country.
Yeah, Shrok, something I've also noticed amongst millennial athletes in general and all our teammates is that everyone's seeming to discuss the same thing. Visa nahi mila, I'm not able to travel. What is this? What is the point of training? This is the constant dialogue, the constant self-talk, the constant whether you're chatting with your coach or your teammates, or it's an internal dialogue that's going on within your mind. And we all know, as we spoke, even in our conversation with Shri Advani, that the mind body connection is so strong that very often your self talk is going to have an impact on your physiology. So it's definitely going to be having an impact on your physiology, your health. And moreover, it's getting deep down into your subconscious, which is affecting everything. It's affecting your mood, it's affecting your temper, it's affecting your behavior. So I think, as one starting point, we need to check the kind of self talk, the kind of dialogue that we're having with our peers, with our coaches, and even internally. We have to make a concerted effort to remain positive. I know it's easier said than done, but um, here's a small trick, or a tool that could be used is, say, visualization. Yes, we can't go out and practice. Yes, it's been 15 months since we've competed, but you can make that daily effort to maybe watch a few videos of yourself, of people who you idolize, and stay in touch with positive memories of the game. That's something that will keep you in a happy mental space. Do things that you enjoy, get creative, because that's what's actually going to help you tide over this trouble time.
Just a small message: stay at home. If you do venture out, please make sure that you've got your masks on, and please wash your hands every time you go out, and please sanitize it as much as possible. This is just a small message from us, and we hope that we will come out on top with this battle of the pandemic.
Absolutely. I think another, now that vaccinations are open to everyone above the age of 18, I think it's important to, register. I know there's a big shortage in places like Bombay and Bangalore, but get yourself registered on the Coven app, and make sure to get yourself vaccinated at the earliest, because that's our best possible bet at fighting this pandemic. I think people need to there's no running away from the fact that we are living in a pandemic, and COVID can be contracted at any time, but we can afford to probably minimize the symptoms. We have daily reports of people not finding hospital beds, not having access to oxygen, dying on the way to the hospital, which is really, really disturbing. And I think one way of at least minimizing our symptoms is getting vaccinated. So guys, please get yourself vaccinated at the earliest.
Talking about vaccination, we both got our first shots also. So we urge all of our listeners, if you can, please get yourself vaccinated. Please do not get in those myths that vaccination won't help and all of that, all those WhatsApp forwards. It's imperative right now. It is extremely important for everyone to get vaccinated, and urge all of your loved and dear ones to get vaccinated when they get the chance. I know it's difficult, but sooner than later you will get that opportunity, and just do it. As simple as that. So then we talking about tools. I think something what has worked for me is that it is okay to feel sad, right? It is okay to feel bad about the situation. It may not necessarily be negative, but it is okay to feel sad about it. What are your thoughts on? I mean, you can't dwell on it for a very long time, and you can't. I don't think you should like whine about it too. But it is okay to feel sad, right?
For sure. I mean, social media, for instance, isn't helping our cause. Every piece of information on social media right now is quite depressing, to be honest. And yeah, given the current scenario, given what we're reading in newspapers, it is very very disturbing mentally. So I do sympathize with everyone around me. I do understand that it is okay to feel low. We are probably not thriving mentally in such a situation, but I think a small starting step would be winning every the daily battle of self doubt, the daily battle of feeling low. It's going to be a daily effort. Some athletes find solace in journaling. Some athletes find solace in getting creative, whether it's in the kitchen, whether it's painting. But it's important to make an effort to be happy, because the situation around you isn't helping. It is reminding you of the grim reality that is surrounding us. So unless you as an individual make that effort to feel better about yourself, you are going to be a victim of your surroundings, your circumstances. And we wouldn't want that. We wouldn't wish that on our worst enemy. So uh, you know it is important to sometimes sit back and do a lot of introspection, find out, connect with yourself internally and find out what it is that gives you happiness, and make an effort every day to actually um, do something that makes you happy. For me, for instance, it is movement. I mean, it may not necessarily be playing for 4 and 5 hours as I'm used to, but it can be any form of movement. It can be going for a walk, it can be yoga, it can be some amount of animal flow, it can be anything that basically it can be dance. Any form of movement basically will produce those happy hormones and actually make you feel better about yourself. So movement for sure is something that I strongly rely on, and I try to stick to some amount of routine, because whether it's waking up at a certain time, sleeping at a certain time, and getting in some amount of movement at least twice a day has been keeping me going. But I'm sure it's different for every individual, and it's important for every individual to find his routine when there is no structure around anything at present.
Picking up a new hobby, I think that works. uh, you could pick up anything. So I've seen so many of my friends, have started painting, started learning a new instrument. Now that you can learn anything and everything online, you've got one of my friends is doing a wall paint, redecorating her whole wall with a marker. You can, I mean, obviously cook, which is what I do, and I make a mean grilled cheese sandwich also, which is which will go in my CV someday. But I do think that picking up a new hobby also helps. Whatever something, it's just something new to look forward to. If uh, you know you are, let's say you've picked up cooking, so there is a new recipe which you're looking forward to make. If you have you're learning a new instrument, there's something new to look forward to, right? And I think in times like this, just if possible, just try to learn something new which will not necessarily help you in your career. Like my cooking is never going to help me in my coaching career, but it is just something new, and it gets you away from that monotonous drill you're doing every day. That for that 1 2 hours, if you can escape for a bit, and time does fly in those small moments when you're not thinking about what's happening around you for a bit and escaping and just doing your own things.
But Shlok, talking of sport, I mean, we have the Olympics right around the corner. It's already been postponed by a year. The hashtag has changed from Tokyo 2020 to Tokyo 2021. All eyes on Japan. Can they pull it off? Can they, pull it off in time? What's your take?
It's going to be tough. I've already started reading these small articles that there is a certain section of people in Tokyo that they don't want the Olympics to happen. And and even if they do go forward with it, there is a possibility that it happens behind closed doors, which would be so strange for the Olympics, the biggest sporting stage in the world without any audience. Like, I can't even imagine an Olympics like that. But we are already in May and June, July, August, 3 months. Like, you're under 100 days now for the Olympics, and the situation is looking a little grim now. Can they pull it off? I really don't know. I think we'll just have to wait and watch. I think by June, mid June, we would know, is it getting postponed again? Because here's the thing with Tokyo also, right? If you can't push the dates way too ahead, because then it gets really cold, and weather-wise, it is not. It doesn't work for all sports then. So this is the August, July, September is the best phase for the Olympics to happen in Tokyo. But I do have started reading some articles that there has been a small contingent of people protesting against the Olympics. But I would, if you would have asked me this question last year, I would be, yeah, we would be on course to have the Olympics in August 2021. But now, as bad as sad as I feel telling about this, that there might be a chance, that it might be postponed again, which is so tough for the athletes.
Yeah, I mean, I would have expected a country like Japan to be, ahead of its time in terms of vaccinations, on point in terms of having all its citizens vaccinated and actually having, robos in place, Panasonic robos in place to even have the Olympics, happening and rolling. But I was chatting with, a Japanese neighbor of mine the other day, and he said that no, the situation isn't great. Vaccinations haven't been conducted at the speed at which they should have been, and yes, there is a question mark on the Olympics actually being conducted. So not a very great situation as far as international sport is concerned. Our sports minister, Mr. Riju, was to meet the IOC today and actually decide on the future of the Indian contingent, as with regards to their participation at the Olympics. Even if it is conducted, are our Indian athletes actually going to make it? Is a question mark. With all
I
these
I think
doubts,
yeah, I think our Tokyo bound athletes should be vaccinated.
oh, 100% should be vaccinated, but given the travel restrictions, the international movement, there is a question mark as far as Indians are concerned. So I think from an athlete's perspective, to train with this question mark in mind, that yes, I am training, I'm putting in 10 hours a day, I'm investing all this time and effort and money, but am I actually going to go? It can't get
True,
harder. It can't get harder.
true. Whoever, if the Olympics happen and whoever wins the gold medal and is on the podium, they've got super legendary mental strength. And if it's an Indian, which I hope and pray it is, then
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
we need to hear it from his autobiography, that what made him strong during all of the time in the pandemic. But yes, a lot of question marks, Tanvi. A lot of question
And
marks.
what's actually, it kind of hurts as well, because you open social media and you see all the Europeans competing. The European Championships were being held last week. I mean, you see Carolina Marin in scintillating form. You see a lot of the junior athletes up there actually playing tournaments, and here we are in lockdown, not even able to fly to compete in a series level event. Kind of hurts, but that's how life is, I guess. Not fair always. Absolutely unfair, in fact. So gotta accept what the situation is.
Yeah, one thing for sure I know is that life is not fair. But I mean, yeah, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. If not, throw the lemons away. What can you do? But just have to accept the situation that uh, we are not in the most strongest of situations right now, and just get through it. Be strong. Be go through it, because what this experience has taught us is going to stay with us for the rest of our lives, right? Like we would, like 10, 15 years down the line, if all of us are alive, we would be talking about 2020 to 2021, 22. Okay, dude, do you remember that, how we spent these 2.5, 3 years in our lives without any social interaction? I mean, very minimum. And we've seen the world, evolve and change. So I mean, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a true test. It's going to be a true test of character. Like I always say, are you looking at your glass half full or half empty? Those who are looking at it half full have a better chance of, getting through this pandemic, staying sane when there is insanity surrounding us, and actually emerging winners, because if you can survive a pandemic, you are set for a podium finish at the next world event, whether it's the Olympics or the Commonwealth Games. You are mentally at least up there.
Or not the Olympics, even in life, you will end up having a podium finish in life if you've gone through the pandemic, because this has been a sheer lesson of mental strength. And those who have still managed to have a smile on their face and continue to do it, hats off to them. That's the only thing which is coming on to my mind right now. But yeah, hoping and praying that things get better, and for that the whole country needs to unite together and follow the protocols, follow what the medical board is telling you to. And hopefully, they say second wave is the most deadliest of waves. And once we get through this, I'm hoping things go upwards.
Absolutely. I was actually chatting with one of our teammates the other day, and he seemed in a very pensive mood. So I kind of asked him, what's going on your mind? What's on your mind? And he said, when I look at a scenario 4 years down the line, when I look at, I've made this career choice of pursuing the sport, but when I look at a scenario 4 years down the line, um, I have these goals of playing the Commonwealth, the Asian Games, and qualifying for these events. But if I work backwards, I'm supposed to be playing 15 tournaments in 2021. Those tournaments are not happening. Am I going to qualify for the Commonwealth next year? Is a question mark. If I'm not going to qualify for those events, am I even interested in pursuing this sport? Is another question mark. So, I mean, I'm just putting this out there to give you a kind of picture of the negative spiral, why athletes are even considering retirement or taking a sabbatical. They're questioning their career choices. That is the extent to which this pandemic has actually affected athletes, their livelihood. Like you mentioned, coaches are affected. So, um, hope is one thing that we have been living by, but to actually give this athlete who I was chatting with, for me to actually give him some hope was indeed difficult at that point.
Well, I just have one quote from the movie Shawshank Redemption, that hope is a good thing, probably the best of things, and no good thing ever dies. So, yeah, I'm currently not in a state to also advise anybody. I would just just say that hang in there. It's just like when your opponent is just firing on all cylinders and you just have to hang in there and just weather the storm, which Rafa Nadal does. Your guide, your mentor
My
does
idol.
it so well. Your idol does it so well. Just weather the storm, and times will change. Hopefully that at some point of time he will stop or she will stop firing on all cylinders, and then we can creep back into the match, and always come back. So yeah, I mean, I feel that young kids, tensions and the number of question marks he has on my mind, because I went through something very similar like that. So I know where he's coming from. But yeah, weather the storm, kid, weather the storm.
All right.
Wanna wrap it up? On that note, we come to an end of another episode of The Millennial Athlete with Tanvi and Shlok. If you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to all of them on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow IVM on their social media handle, that is at the rate IVM Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. If you have any suggestions for us, please do. You can write to me on Instagram and Twitter with the handle at the rate SHLOKH95.
And you can write to me on at tanvilad93 on Instagram and Twitter.
Until then, ciao. We shall be back very soon with another fresh episode of The Millennial Athlete. Stay safe, take care, and we'll see you guys soon. Goodbye.
IVM.